Hi, my name is Seamus, and today I'm going to show you how to play the earth like an instrument, kind of like an 18-string guitar. Yeah, so this is the device I've created. It's called a soil scope. It looks kind of like this janky metal detector, but the most important part of it is that it has these soil probes here. Yeah, so the way it works is when you put the probe into the soil, it gives you an electrical reading that corresponds to the resistance of the soil. And so lower resistance means that electrical current flows more easily between these two electrodes here. And this corresponds to things like more moisture in the soil or more what we call NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And these are all indicators of positive soil health. And that's what I'm measuring here in the field today is the health of the soil. Like with all my biosymphonic projects, I'll be making music from this data. The site for today's explorations is Pine Meadow Ranch, located in Sisters, Oregon, and I've been living here for the last couple of weeks on this amazing artist residency. This is a working ranch and has cows, chickens, sheep, and even a horse named Henry, and also a sweet donkey named Juanita. They both love apples. Here at Pine Meadow Ranch, we love healthy soil. If the soil is in a good shape, it will support an active microbial life, plant growth, nutrient cycling, and all sorts of things that are important, not only for the ecosystem, but for humans as well. I'll be making music for the performance in this here field. It's been in use since about the 1900s with all sorts of activity, ranging from crops to fertilizer to livestock. So the ground's been compacted, stuff's been going into it. It's been a very active ecosystem over decades. But let's go check out the soil itself and dig some up. Healthy soil is often darker with lots of organic material. So check this out. This soil isn't too dark, but it's not too light either. It's really uniform. And here are some small roots from the grasses that are all over the field, and they help prevent soil erosion. And if I look further down in the soil, it has a higher clay content, which is unusual for this area, apparently. And it's probably formed from the moisture or the irrigation coming into the soil. They irrigate it from the local creek pretty frequently. And here's a trick you can do at home. Pour water on the soil and roll it in your hand, forming what looks like a dirt gummy worm. You can see how it sticks, so that means it has a lot of clay in it. What happens for the sensors is that clay holds water, and so pockets of clay-rich soil will create wildly different sensor readings. When I first got here, I started testing the soil at various points in the ground, just even a foot away from each other. And I found that they got drastically different readings from the sensors. And this was really exciting from the point of view of turning data into music. But enough of the soil science for now. I want to get back to something a little bit more geeky and exciting, how the tech is made. These are the sensor probes themselves. This is the 3D printed piece that goes over the end of the shovel stick. And what I do is I feed the wire through here, and then I take probes and I put them on the end here, and I do a wire wrap, and then I just kind of slather epoxy all over it. And so it's pretty janky in this construction. It's not a pro sort of situation. It's kind of amateur, but it does give me very reliable sensor readings. The data from the probes feeds into this circuit that I designed, and this is an ESP32 chip. For those of you who are familiar with the Arduino, it's kind of like an Arduino on steroids, and the most important thing is it can transmit data over Wi-Fi. So none of these need to be plugged in, they're all battery operated. Here at the residency, I 3D printed these enclosures for the circuit boards and also the enclosures for the battery holders. And that makes this whole soil scope portable and easy to use. For the performance, which is going to be in just a couple of days, I'm going to have not just one of these, but 5 soil scopes and 5 performers. Each soil scope will play a different bank of instruments. So we have lows, like bass tones, mids, which are more traditional instruments I'll be playing, like piano, and the third one, which is going to be playing a bank of high instruments, and those will be more experimental sounding electronic instruments. The fourth, which will be playing different drum kits. And then the fifth, which is kind of my favorite one, is sort of the most fun. It would be playing radio broadcasts of UFO sightings. And so I'm making this link between farm and UFO culture. And that'll just be a little subtle thing in the background that I'll be inserting into it.
Doesn't match conventional aircraft. No strobes, just a dim glow. Shape's hard to determine.
And the soil scope instruments will be rotated periodically, so everyone will get a chance to play the drums. And this is how we're going to play the earth like an instrument. The earth is providing the actual data. All I'm doing is translating that data into musical notes. I'm setting up the system, the framework. One of my inspirations is John Cage, who did a lot of pioneering work in the 60s and 70s. And for those of you who are familiar with this work, you'll know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't know John Cage, he's amazing. He did all these chance-based compositions to create his own music.